Jala Huiti, Bud Lane Wa'am Noshi. Hello, everyone. My name is Bud Lane, and I'm from the Siletz Indian Reservation in Western Oregon. I'm a language teacher. I teach the Siletz Dee-ni dialect of the Athabaskan language. I'm also a member of our governing body on the reservation. I've served in tribal government for 15 years. The language that I grew up hearing was from my father, and my dad was a career military man, and I was born on Guam, but we always kept our property at Siletz, and I've lived there the last 40 years, 35 years. Yeah. Like most people my age, I grew up during a time when a lot of cultural things that belonged to us were in a steep decline. The agents at the Siletz Agency burned all our dance houses in the 1870s because they didn't want anybody doing them anymore. So there was 6 of them, and from there the feather dance kind of went underground, and they didn't like the religion. They didn't like people gathering like that in large groups, and so it became, like we've got tons of pictures of Siletz Indians at the 4th of July celebration in Newport on the waterfront, all dressed down in their feather dance regalia doing their dances. It became this thing that hitchhiked on to other events. So a group of us, decided that was not cool anymore, and we needed to put an end to it, and it needed to be something we do in and of itself. And that's the dance house movement that started. If we had, back in my dad's day or my granddad's day, been able to teach language and teach about why we do our dances, back then there was this separation, and it was just this odd thing. It was this weird thing. And societal exclusion had a lot to do with the undermining of our language. People didn't want to use it because they were embarrassed. They were ridiculed for doing it. It was this weird thing. From that early work on our dances came more and more language in the form of songs and of prayers and of dance protocols that have to be conducted in the language. So here we are, almost 30 years later, teaching language, which I couldn't believe would ever happen in the Siletz Valley School and in community classes. I'm very upbeat about the things that we've been able to do. I've had many linguists describe our language as moribund over the years, meaning it was heading for the ash heap of history. And we refuse to accept that, and our tribal council, our government, and all of our elders and cultural people have gotten behind this effort, and I have great hope and some tangible results already. So I've got a little over 200 students that I teach in the Siletz Valley School. There's about 5 speakers left with different levels of fluency, and most of them are very elderly. I know we're talking about language here, but when I talk about our culture, I talk about it's the food, it's our foods, it's our way of life, it's our beliefs, it's our thought processes in our heads, and it's specific in our language too. It's a different way of looking at the world than we have in the modern day American culture that we all part of. We're all in that world too. And it has a right to exist on its own. And I think that's why I do what I do, because that should not go away. And any steps that we can take to preserve what is left of it, there's part of it that's gone away that's never coming back. There's parts of it that we will never retrieve. But there's a large part of it that is still intact, and we need to pick it up and dust it off and keep improving it. It's a story of kind of a diaspora story for our people. A lot of them left and went to Portland and Eugene areas and Salem at termination. We were a terminated tribe in the 50s. And so it's another aspect of federal actions that caused great harm to us and had an effect on language and other things too. So yeah, people left the reservation, but they're all coming back now. So.